Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the next installment of my astrology sign inspired makeup look series, and today's makeup look is Aquarius. So Aquarians are typically known as like strange. That sounds like a bad thing, but they're just very out there and like not afraid to be themselves, you know? So like people describe them as strange. They're assertive and independent and opinionated. I have notes, so that's why I'm looking down. Original, creative, and peaceful. So in this look, I kind of wanted to combine like the strange aspect with the creative and like peaceful. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. I have like a look in my mind that I'm going to try to make. So I'm going to throw my hair up and jump right into the makeup. So I have primed and set my eyelids so we are able to jump right on into the eyeshadow. I just used some concealer and pressed powder, not pressed powder, loose powder. Before I start, I actually want to apologize for whatever the lighting is going to be in this video. Usually when I film in my dorm, I try to film earlier in the day so the light is still like on this side of the building, but today I'm filming in the afternoon so the light is shining directly here and it might be changing. And I am going to be using my two Kathleen Lights and ColourPop palettes today in this video, and I am using the shade in her Zodiac palette called Aquarius, but I do want to like put out a little disclaimer, I guess. Not every look in this series is going to be using this Zodiac palette in the corresponding shades. Like if it's an Aries, I'm not going to be using this palette using Aries. I might be using something else. It just so happens that the shade Aquarius in this palette is perfect for what I want to do. And I'm kind of recreating a look that I have done in the past and that I really liked the way that it turned out. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the shades from the Dream Street palette called Shooting Star and Magical, and I'm going to take this and blend it out into my crease and really blow it out. So next I'm going to go in and take the color Shooting Star on a bit of a more precise blending brush, and I'm going to put that just a little bit lower in the crease. So this look is going to seem very basic at first, but there is two things we're doing that come towards the end of the eye look that are going to kind of tie in the peaceful, strange, creative vibe that I'm going for. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the Zodiac palette, and I'm going to take more of a precise blending brush. I'm going to mix the Virgo and the Taurus, and I'm going to put that in my outer corner. I want just a little bit of definition in that outer corner. I don't want it to be too overpowering, so that is why I am mixing the Taurus with the Virgo. So now I am going to take a shader brush and I'm going to pick up the shade, the Gemini, and throw that all over my lid. I do find that with the ColourPop shimmer formula, I don't need to wet the brush when I put it on my lid. I'm going to go in with a dry brush and just kind of blend that around. And now I'm going to go back in with the Taurus and the Virgo and just deepen up the edges just a little bit more. Sometimes I find that when I put on the shimmer shade on the lid, I can kind of almost end up covering up the bit of definition that I have created. So I just like to go back in and kind of redefine everything. And that means I'm also going to go back in with Shooting Star from the Dream Street palette and put that in the crease just to redefine it a little bit in case anything got covered up. And then I'm going to go in with the first blending brush that we use without putting any more product. I'm just going to lightly blend over the edges. So this is where I'm going to leave the eyes just for a minute. We are not done with the eyes. We will be coming back, putting more shadow on, but it's going to be the lower lash line and inner corner. So I want to get like my base on before I come back and do that in case it gets a little messy, because we will be working with some more colorful shadows. I'm going to be taking the Urban Decay something, I think Illusion, is it Optical Illusion Complexion Primer? Smoothing, pore perfecting primer, I don't know. It's basically just like a pore filling primer, and I'm going in with this primer today because the foundation that we're using is more of a glowy, dewy foundation. I'm going in with a dewy foundation, so I want to make sure that my skin is kind of matte underneath because I do have oily skin. I actually think this primer is going bad because it smells a little bit like crayons. So the foundation I'm using is actually a little sample that I got from Sephora, and it is the Anastasia Luminous Foundation, and I'm using this one because obviously it is very glowy and I don't have a full size, so who said you can't use a foundation sample in a video? Is that a rule? It's not now because I'm doing it. My nails are too long to stick in the little component, so I'm going to use the end of a brush. So the foundation is looking good. I actually tested it out for the first time yesterday, and I was kind of like asking my family if my skin looked good, and my sister was like, your face is really dark, you look orange, but I'm literally in direct sunlight right now, and this is a pretty good match. Next, I'm going to take my Revlon Photo Ready Candid Antioxidant Concealer in the shade Fair and put that a little bit on my under eyes. I'm going to put it on like a few little spots that I have, and then probably some highlighting areas. I actually am going to avoid putting it right here on my forehead. I usually highlight right there, but I've been noticing recently that when I put concealer there, it's kind of been looking heavy and a little bit cakey, and that's not the vibe we're going for, especially with this look, so I'm just going to avoid it there altogether. So again, I'm really trying to keep this base very dewy. Before I set down any part of my face, I'm actually going to go in with a liquid illuminator. This is the Maybelline Master Strobing Liquid Illuminating Highlighter in the shade Light. And I've had this for a while, and I wore it a lot, maybe about a year ago I wore it a lot. Kind of stopped wearing it, don't really know why. I think I just wasn't really liking the way that it applied with a brush, but I never tried putting it on with a sponge. So that is what I am going to try today and hope I get a good, ooh. This is exactly what I wanted. Looks pretty good, right? That's beautiful. So I'm only going to put that on my cheekbones. We will be putting on a powder highlight on top of this later just to make it really pop. So now I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair. And I'm going to take my sponge with just a tiny bit of powder on it, like this much, and just set right under my eyes, a little bit around my nose, above my lip, and my chin. Everything else I'm going to leave completely unset. I actually forgot, I literally just applied highlight with that side, so I'm going to take a powder brush to apply this highlight instead of my sponge. Did I say to apply this highlight? I meant to apply this powder. I don't remember what I said. There's just some places on my face that I feel like if they get looking too dewy, it makes me look greasy, and I feel like that's in between my eyebrows and then kind of like my smile lines. So I do try to set down a few places, even if I am going for a very dewy, luminous base. So that is all I'm going to set. Next, I think I want to put some brows on. So recently, I haven't actually been filling in my brows. I've just been using my Rimmel Brow This Way Brow Styling Gel in the shade Medium Brown. Kind of like the outer 2/3 of my brows, and then on the inner third, just to get the fronts kind of really fluffy, I've been taking my ABH Brow Gel. So this, I'm just going to run like this, and I kind of brush the hair up and over because I really like the fluffy brow look. That is basically the only bit of color that I add on my brows. I already have very thick eyebrows as it is. They're very dark. So that is all I'm going to do for my brows, and now we are going to finish off the eyes. So I'm going to go back into the Zodiac palette, and on a pointed brush, I'm going to take the shade called the Aquarius, and I'm going to blend that on my lower lash line. That is exactly what I want. So we just get like a hint of that blue on the lower lash line. And I'm kind of like flicking the color out a little bit so that the edge of the eyeshadow on the top kind of blends in with the eyeshadow on the bottom. And now on a bit of a more precise brush, I'm going to take the shade from the Dream Street palette. I'm going to take the dark blue, it's called Water Bearer, and I'm going to put that right on the outer edge of the lower lash line. And for the inner corner, this is what I'm most excited for. The inner corner, I am going to take from the Zodiac palette, I'm going to take the shade the Pisces, and I'm going to apply that in my inner corner. It's this really gorgeous, like sparkly turquoise. For my brow bone highlight, I'm going to go back to the Dream Street palette, and I'm going to take the shade called Dreamy Moony. Pretty close. I'm going to take the shade called Moony and highlight my brow bone with that. So next, I'm going to take my KVD Cosmetics tattoo liner in Trooper Black, and I'm not going to do a wing. I'm going to do this off camera, but I'm just going to very thinly line my upper lash line because we are going to be putting lashes on for this look. I'm only doing this off camera because I have to get pretty close to my mirror to be able to do this, and you just won't be able to see it. Next, I'm going to take my Milk Makeup Kush Mascara and put a light layer of it on my top lashes, and I'm going to leave my bottom lashes bare because one, I find that this Kush Mascara smudges really bad on my under eyes if I put it on the bottom lash line, and two, I don't want anything to distract from the bit of blue going on the bottom lash line. So I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on the top lashes. Now that we have the mascara on the top lashes, I'm going to take my AOA Studio Premium Lashes in the style Carleen. They're very fluffy and they don't have a lot of flare at the edge. They're like more symmetrical lashes, and I think they're really gorgeous and will look really good with this look. The lashes are on, and now we are able to finish up the face. I'm going to be taking my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed Bronzer to give myself a nice sun-kissed glow. I do want to keep this look pretty fresh, almost natural. I'm going to be taking my Tarte Amazonian Clay Longwear Blush in the shade Natural Beauty, and it is this vibrant, bright red blush. It looks a lot scarier in the pan than it does when you apply it. And I did promise a powder highlight. So I'm going to be taking it's actually a baked blush, but it is so champagne-y and beautiful and light that I use it as a highlighter. This is the e.l.f. Baked Blush in the shade Pink-tastic. There's nothing pink about it. It is literally a straight up gold highlight. And I'm just going to top off my cheekbones with some of this. And now we are going to finish off this look with some lips. I'm going to be taking my NYX lip liner in the shade Peekaboo Neutral and lining my lips. I'm going to overline the top lip very slightly. And now I'm going to put on a gloss. This is the e.l.f. Lip Pump. I can never say this. The e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Mocha Twist. My applicator is very broken and wobbly, so I have to be very careful when I apply this. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And I'm going to finish off this look with my Pacifica Coconut Essence Hydro Mist all over my face. And I know this is weird, but this is a trick I've been doing recently as another set to kind of like blend everything together on my face. I bought this spray bottle per Kathleen Light's recommendation, and it is the craziest spray. This is one pump. You'll see it's the best spray ever. Like, it's so fine and so nice. So I'm actually going to do a single spritz of just water all over my face. It's so good. And I look extra dewy now, so I'm just going to give this a moment to settle in. Take out my fan, dry that down. So that is it for this look. I really enjoyed doing this. I feel like this is the first time in a long time that I've sat down and just filmed a tutorial, like a full face actual tutorial, and it was so much fun. I don't know why I don't do this more often. I love the way that this Aquarius inspired look turned out. I think it is exactly what I imagined and what I wanted it to look like in my head. So it's always good when that happens. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.